Well, hi, everyone. This is the SoCal Report. I am Brad Free on the final Saturday of 2016, and it promises to be a wet one. We're getting socked with some rain in Southern California. We certainly need it, and that could change the condition not only of the turf course, but also the main track. So make sure you take a look at track conditions on Saturday morning. As for the Saturday card, there are 3 stakes races, a good sprint, an okay turf route, and another decent turf route later on in the card. There's also a really good maiden race. We'll be taking a look at 3 of those. We're going to skip over the Grade 3 Midnight Loot, which is race number 3. Only 5 entered. I like Jimmy Bouncer. He's 5-2 on the outside. Big deal. The first race we're going to talk about is race number 4. It's the Grade 3 Robert J. Frankel Stakes, named after the late, great trainer, Hall of Fame trainer, Bobby Frankel, and kind of a nondescript field of 8 entered. There will be at least one scratch out of here. Number 1, Sweet Charity, entered back in a 2 other than allowance race on Sunday. So she is expected to scratch from the Frankel and run on Sunday. And that leaves us with a overwhelming favorite, I think, in my opinion, and that's number 4, Arles. Now, the knock on Arles, who is listed at 5-2, is her last 5 starts include 1 win in a photo finish and 4 runner-up finishes. So you look at her past performances and you think, maybe this is a filly that likes to finish second. Well, she has finished second a lot, but her most recent start in the Grade 3 red carpet at Del Mar, she did everything in that race but win. She ran super. She ran a winning race. She opened up in mid-stretch. Arles did. She appeared to be on her way to victory, but Nuovo Record came and tagged her right on the wire to win by a nose. Arles finished second. Another bang-up performance by a Graham Motion trainee. Arles ran well, but she got beat again. She's the 5-2 favorite on the morning line, shortening up to 1 3/8 to 1 1/8. Talked to Graham Motion early this week, and he admitted that it could be a challenge because this filly has been running primarily in marathons. But she's not a plotter. She has enough tactical speed to be forwardly placed. She certainly will be fit enough, and if the turf course comes up wet, well, that certainly also could benefit Arles. She's the horse to beat. She's the 5-2 favorite in the Robert J. Frankel, a race that probably does not offer a whole lot of wagering value. But if you're looking to make a bet on Saturday, let's turn to race number 6. This might be the best gambling race on the card, and a field of 14 2-year-olds will go 1 1/16. Actually, only 12 will run. 14 entered, 12 will run. And this is the final maiden special weight of the year, and I am shocked by the morning line on a horse that I think is worth gambling on, and that's number 8, Honor and Courage. He's a gray son of Unbridled Song. He's a sibling to the multiple graded stakes winner, Unzip Me. She did all her running, most of her best running, I should say, coming down the hill at Santa Anita. But Honor and Courage has been begging to run long, and he has had compromising trips in his first 3 starts. His first 2 starts, he was compromised by a pace duel. In his most recent comeback on November 19th at Del Mar, it was an absolute nightmare. Honor and Courage broke from post number 2. He's the gray horse breaking from post number 2 in a comeback race down at Del Mar, and he was out-footed early. He did not show the type of speed that he showed in his first 2 starts, and as you can see, Honor and Courage begins to climb from the spray. He's taking kickback in a race for the first time, and he was a little uncomfortable with that spray being kicked into his face. And he was climbing, he was uneasy, and then it got worse because at the 3/8 pole, down on the inside, well, it kind of got a little tight down in there, and jockey Mike Smith had took up, and Honor and Courage was shuffled back out of contention, and he basically ran evenly thereafter, actually finished okay. He finished 5th by 5 lengths in a much better than looked effort. Early trouble climbing from the spray, checking at the 3/8, and then finishing evenly. Since that race on November 19th, Honor and Courage has come back to work very well, including a December 26th 3-horse team workout in which he blew away his rivals in deep stretch and ran away late in the stretch. He worked like a horse that wants to run long. First time Joel Rosario on Saturday, And I expect Honor and Courage. Not only do I expect him to win, but unfortunately, I expect him to get bet down from 8-1 on the morning line. The favorite in this race is No Great Shakes. He's IRAP, and he finished second last time out in a Grade 1. Runner-up in a Grade 1, dropping into a maiden race, should be a standout, right? I don't believe that the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity was a legitimate race for anyone but the winner, Mastery. And all that IRAP did was kind of run around the track. He ran well. He earned a good number. He earned an 80 Beyer speed figure. And I'm not going to knock him entirely, but I don't really think that the Los Al Futurity was a legitimate race. So I'm looking to beat the favorite, IRAP, and expecting number 8, Honor and Courage, to run very well on the stretch out. Take a look at number 7, Dre Dan. He's a first-time starter trained by Baffert. Baffert is absolutely loaded this year with 2-year-olds that are about to turn 3. Let's turn our attention to the biggest race on Saturday. It's the Grade 1 American Oaks. 3-year-old fillies at 1 1/4 on turf. Now, with the wet weather in the forecast, there are a couple of possibilities with regards to the American Oaks. A field of 13 entered, 13 3-year-old fillies. 1 1/4. This race crosses the main track. 1 1/4 race at Santa Anita comes down the hill and crosses the main track and then goes back onto the turf course. A wet main track will necessitate this 1 1/4 race to be shortened to 1 1/8 so that the runners do not have to make the dirt crossing. That distance reduction, if it happens, would certainly benefit number 2, Stays in Vegas. She's the 7-2 favorite on the morning line, Stays in Vegas, based largely on her most recent start against a better field than she faces in the American Oaks. And Stays in Vegas did everything but win the Grade 1 Matriarch. She set the pace over a Del Mar turf course that was not conducive to her running style. She opened up in mid-stretch, and then she just got collared late by Miss Temple City and the runner-up. Stays in Vegas finished third, beaten only a head against infinitely better company than the 3-year-old fillies she faces in the American Oaks. The question for Stays in Vegas, how far does she really want to run? At 1 1/4, you think she's vulnerable? I even think she's vulnerable at 1 1/8 if this race does go at the shorter distance. The truth of the matter is, these 3-year-old fillies, there are no superstars in this field, and I think it's a great spot for a new shooter, and there's a good one in here by the name of Queen Blossom. Now, I don't like her odds. She's 9-2, and that seems very short, but we know this. She runs well fresh. She won her career debut. She also won her first start as a 3-year-old in Ireland. She's lightly raced. All she is a Group 3 winner, but she runs well fresh. She's trained well for Grand Motion. She is absolutely dead fit going into this race. And I talked to Grand Motion again early this week regarding Queen Blossom, and they admit they're taking a shot because on form, you can't make a case for Queen Blossom. But then you start looking at who she's running against. Yeah, it's not a great field. So I'm hoping that the odds float up a little bit on Queen Blossom, maybe 5-1, maybe 6-1. She can win if she can catch Stays in Vegas. Arles should win race number 4, the Robert J. Frankel Stakes, and the best gamble on the card in race number 6, Honor and Courage. I'm Brad Free. You've been watching the SoCal Report. Talk to you next time.